What's up, folks? Your buddy Fatalroadie. Tonight we're going to be doing the results for Grounds for a rematch. Stomping Grounds. After 30 minutes of nothing but talk, we finally get our first match. It's Akira Tozawa, Tony Nese, and Drew Gulak in a triple threat for the Cruiserweight title. This was a good match. It was fast-paced. The Cruiserweights need to be on the main card and not curtain-jerking with matches like this. But like I said, good match. Really liked it. Drew Gulak hit the torture rack neckbreaker on Akira Tozawa to win the Cruiserweight title. This match needed to be on the main card. We start off with the first match of the night, Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans, who comes out looking like a Moulin Rouge reject. Lynch takes it to Evans in the opening points of this match, but Lacey Evans starts to fight back. After a ton of action and a bunch of near falls, Becky Lynch gets the disarmor to retain her title. Backstage we find out that Baron Corbin finds a competent, non-biased official for his match. Can't wait to see who that's going to be. Then we have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Big E and Xavier Woods. Kevin Owens opens up with a super kick to both Woods and Big E. Through most of this match, Xavier Woods is getting hammered. Big E finally tags in, starts to fight back. At one point, everybody gets laid out. Big E does a phenomenal spear through the ropes on Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens knocks Xavier Woods off the ropes, hits him with a stunner, and gets the pin. We then have Ricochet versus Samoa Joe for the United States title. This is a speed versus power match. Really good match. I liked it. Every time that Ricochet tried to get ahead, Samoa Joe levels him out. However, Ricochet was able to build up an offense, hits the 630 onto Samoa Joe, gets the pin, and is now the new United States champion. It was a good match. I wasn't really too crazy on the outcome. I think they probably should have kept the belt on Samoa Joe for a little bit just to try to establish it, because it seems like they're just hot potatoing the title belt back and forth to everybody else. After the match, Ricochet goes to the gorilla position, is greeted by Seth Rollins, Charlotte Flair, Heavy Machinery, and Triple H congratulating him on his win. There's also a later segment where Ricochet is getting photos taken with the belt. He's approached by the club and AJ Styles, and AJ Styles says that he'll be seeing him tomorrow night on Raw. So I guess this might be the new feud for Ricochet? I don't know. We'll have to see. We then have Heavy Machinery versus Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. This is a decent match. The crowd was chanting for Daniel Bryan and telling everybody to please recycle and buy a Prius. Bryan and Rowan are taking it to Heavy Machinery pretty good. There was one point where Otis was hulking up during Daniel Bryan's yes kicks. Tucker goes after Eric Rowan off the top rope, gets in the ring, and a legal Daniel Bryan rolls up Tucker and gets the pin to retain. We then have Bayley versus Alexa Bliss for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Nikki Cross is at ringside. This is an M match. There was an outside altercation where Nikki Cross got hit. Alexa Bliss goes for Twisted Bliss, but Nikki Cross gets involved, which allowed Bayley to take advantage, get the Bayley to belly, and retain her title. Somehow I get the feeling that Nikki Cross will be the next one that Bayley faces. We then have Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre in a WrestleMania rematch. Shane McMahon's at ringside, and it's kind of funny because when Roman Reigns comes out, the microphones drop once again. The match starts outside of the ring before the bell sounds. Of course, Shane McMahon gets involved. Shocker. I do agree with what the crowd's shouting. This is awful. Roman Reigns goes for a pin, but Shane pulls the referee out. He beats down on Roman Reigns, hits him with a coast-to-coast, pulls the referee back in. Drew McIntyre goes for the pin and gets a 2 count. Roman Reigns hits the Superman punch and the spear and gets the pin on Drew McIntyre. Now I hope to God we can at least move away from this, but guess what? Backstage, we find out that tomorrow on Raw, Roman Reigns is going up against Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon in a handicap match.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. There was, however, something pretty funny going on. They cut back to Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon insulting at ringside. That was kind of funny, though. We then have Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE title in a steel cage match. This is an match. It kind of went a little bit too long. There was, however, a lot of action. I did enjoy the match. At the end, Dolph Ziggler was trying to crawl through the door, but Kofi Kingston dove through the ropes, through the door, and out onto the floor before Ziggler could. So Kofi Kingston is still the WWE champion. We then come to our main event, Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin for the Universal title. Corbin announces that Lacey Evans is going to be the special referee. I guess all this talk with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins being boyfriend and girlfriend, I guess that story's now come full circle. Because Evans lost to Lynch, high chance she's going to be biased in this match. Before the match starts, Baron Corbin hits Seth Rollins with a steel chair. Once the match finally starts, Baron Corbin takes most of the offense. The crowd is chanting AEW and boring, which I kind of agree with. Evans is giving fast counts to Corbin and counting slow for Rollins. Corbin gets knocked out of the ring, and Evans is taking her sweet-ass time trying to count. Before she gets to 10, she changes the rules of the match to say that it is a no-count-out match. I don't think the referee has that ability, but okay, we'll get into that later. Seth Rollins goes for the pin, and Lacey Evans has a little bit of a shoulder injury trying to count to 3 and was unable to finish. Baron Corbin hits Seth Rollins with a steel chair again, and then Lacey Evans makes this a no DQ match. What? Rollins, finally noticing that the deck is stacked against him, gets in Lacey Evans' face. She slaps him a couple of times. As he starts to square off with Corbin, Evans gives Rollins a low blow. Then Becky Lynch comes running out, beats down on Lacey Evans. As the referees split them apart, a new one comes out, which was the same referee that gave Corbin a bunch of shit at Super Showdown. Seth Rollins hits the stomp, gets the pin to retain the title, and Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins stand tall at the end of the night. I really wasn't expecting much going into this pay-per-view, but it was slightly decent. I mean, I did enjoy myself with most of the matches. There were some that I really wasn't crazy about. There was ones that I really didn't want to see. Usually in the time between WrestleMania and SummerSlam, their pay-per-views are kind of iffy, and this definitely was one of them. The next pay-per-view is going to be Extreme Rules in 3 weeks, so hopefully we'll pick it up then. But we'll have to see what goes on Raw and SmackDown this week and see where the storylines go from here. But that'll do it for the results for Stomping Grounds. Leave a comment down below what you thought of the pay-per-view, what you thought of this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe. I've been Fatalroadie. You've been awesome. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if it's too loud, you're too old. See ya.